we now have many, many schools that we would applaud and promote that you collaboratively plan with those you share teaching assignments, i.e., we're a grade 3 level team or we're a science department team.
Yeah.
Collaboratively team meet potentially with those that you do not share. So when we think about especially high schools that really dig into this work, where I bring forth Barry, but no one else in the room might be teaching Barry because we've shifted the focus of I've brought Barry, my key issue is this, and we're focusing on the key issue. Well, now on a team board, if I'm a school of 1,200 students, I might need 1,200 students on that team board because it's possible that I'm bringing a student that's at a grade 9 level. You're thinking of a student that's at a grade 12 level.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the team board doesn't quite fit. The other thing is it worked.
Definitely not manageable anymore.
The other thing that it worked well for us at the time was we had a single focus in the school around literacy.
We did.
But do you remember when we did start to get to we should maybe start focusing in on numeracy. We should maybe start focusing on well-being. Yeah. We had a lot of trouble but how do we show a student's jagged profile? We're going to need multiple boards.
Yeah, and when we think about that jagged profile, we know that a student can be really struggling with well-being and their social-emotional wellness, but could be academically very successful. So how do we demonstrate that? It would require us creating boards for every single area and including, oh my gosh, all the cutting and laminating.
Yeah, to make that physical board would be really, really difficult. Yeah. So with this, we do now understand and would promote the use of the WeCollab system, where we can have digital boards where we're going to have a conversation today about numeracy. We click numeracy and the students show the levels of tiers and their particular data. I might have a student that the numeracy data says this student is yellow and they're needing tier 3 level supports. But then when we flip it to literacy, the data is showing them at a green criteria, and they're doing just fine with great tier 1 instruction. So the students may be moving and changing, which that software allows us to do without having science fair boards that are never ending.
Well, the technology in this particular case really allows us to see quickly and visually, which was part of those visual boards too, is, have that represented right in front of us. But with the technology, we can move quickly between focuses of area or area focuses. And then it also allows us to quickly access any student profile that's in that system.
Well, and it's super easy then on that to say, I've come with this student, I'll go add them to the board quickly, where the boards are getting created on the fly rather than the grade 6 board that had all the Velcroed students on it there as well. Now, so we're saying that physical visual board actually goes against or may interfere with the process now in a collaborative team meeting, but in a school support team context, there's still huge power to be able to visually see who are the students that are coming onto our radar, who are needing tier 3 and 4 supports, and being able to visually monitor and access what are the supports we're putting in place.
Well, and those visual boards actually have lots of ability to be able to track and monitor what's happening. So in the case of a school support team, in the case of an intervention teacher who is teaching a number of students based on a number of skills, that's a great way to be able to track what's happening. In the case of your contracted services, being able to understand who is on what caseload and at what stage of development are they in those caseloads. Those visual boards are so incredibly useful in those kinds of areas.
Well, and now promote make the focus about the key issue in relation to those students.
Those team boards work great when we are monitoring and tracking one student at a time. There might be multiple students, but the conversation focuses around one student at a time.
So the school support team is where we want to monitor and support, track. The collaborative team meeting, we do not.
We don't. No, that's right. And when we think about that key issues process, then we are talking about multiple students at one time, and that becomes super challenging on a visual board to be able to track that, and actually not even necessary, because remembering that we have dual purposes in our collaborative team meeting, one being that we are identifying students and their needs and responding, but the other is that we're sharing practice with teachers.
Bingo, which is the more important.
Right. To be able to build our understanding, build our common understanding, and build our practice across the school.
Well, and we often say the collaborative team meeting, it looks like you're talking about students, but you're not. You're just using the students as a mechanism to talk about practice.
Which is what makes it so powerful.
Absolutely.